Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast to the protection against heavy rain and flooding by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
So the big challenge is, how can house owners like you and me get a flood-free home? How can business managers like you and me get a flood-free company? And how can public servants provide flood-free critical infrastructure and livable cities?
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe. This podcast is for foresighted and proactive people who do not want to shovel the muddy water out of their room while standing in the midst of the disaster.
Therefore, those who design and plan, the architects and engineers, need to construct such buildings and cities, and that even when the entire environment is completely flooded. That is a challenge, and this podcast will give the answers.
Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood, Andreas Klippe.
Hello and a warm welcome to all our listeners out there. Today is a truly special day here at Flood Protection Secrets, and I'm thrilled to have you with us. I'm Andreas Klippe, and in this episode we have something quite extraordinary lined up for you. In the spirit of resilience and hope, I'm eager to share a story that is not only close to my heart, but also resonates with the very essence of our podcast. It's a story about courage, community, and the incredible strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. So wherever you are, whether you're at home, on the road, or taking a break from your daily routine, I invite you to join me in uncovering a tale of survival and determination that is both inspiring and enlightening. This isn't just any story, it's a narrative that showcases the power of resilience in battling the forces of nature. Get ready to be captivated, inspired, and perhaps find a new perspective on how we as individuals and communities can stand strong against the challenges we face. Let's dive into this exciting journey together. Okay, so the title is The Beacon of Hope, the story of Mrs. Nguyen and the Great Flood. In the late 1990s, a small village in Vietnam faced one of the most catastrophic floods in history. The waters rose swiftly, engulfing homes and displacing families. Amidst this chaos was Mrs. Nguyen, a widow in her late 60s, known for her indomitable spirit. As the flood waters threatened her home, Mrs. Nguyen, with limited resources, began to fortify her small abode. She used whatever she could find, sandbags, old furniture, and even her own clothes, to create barriers against the rising tide. Neighbors who had given up hope found inspiration in her relentless effort. Her home became a symbol of resistance against the overwhelming flood. Night after night, Mrs. Nguyen fought to keep the water at bay. With no immediate help in sight, her determination seemed like a small light in the darkness, but then something remarkable happened. The younger villagers, moved by her resilience, began to rally. They worked together, reinforcing barriers and creating makeshift rafts to rescue those trapped in their homes. Mrs. Nguyen's home withstood the flood, but more importantly, her actions ignited to a spirit of unity and resilience within the community. The village not only survived the flood, but emerged stronger and more connected than before. This story, while a testament of the strength of one individual, also highlights crucial lessons in flood protection. First, community strength In times of crisis, the power of community can make a significant difference. Second, preparedness and resilience. Proactive measures, no matter how small, can contribute significantly to survival and recovery. And third, hope and determination. The resolve to fight against seemingly insurmountable odds can inspire and uplift an entire community. Mrs. Nguyen's story is more than just a tale of survival. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit's resilience and the power of community can turn the tide against the greatest challenges. And as always, I have a golden nugget for you, and my golden nugget for you today goes as follows. In reflecting upon the incredible story of Mrs. Nguyen, we find a powerful lesson that extends far beyond the realm of flood protection. Her unwavering determination and the unity it inspired teach us an invaluable truth. In our daily lives, when faced with disasters or floods, it's not just the physical barriers we build, but also the strength of our spirit and the bonds within our community that truly safeguard us. So as we navigate through our day-to-day challenges, let's remember Mrs. Nguyen's example. Let it inspire us to foster resilience within ourselves and nurture a sense of community around us. Whether it's preparing our homes for potential floods, helping a neighbor in need, or simply coming together to support each other, these actions build an invisible yet unbreakable barrier against the trials we face. In essence, each of us has the power to be a beacon of hope and strength, much like Mrs. Nguyen. It's through our collective resilience and unity that we can not only survive, but thrive in the face of life's storms. I wish and hope for you that you make the right decisions when it comes to your personal flood protection. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast channel if you haven't already. Now it only remains for me to wish you a good day. Do something with it. Maybe until the next podcast episode. I would be very happy. See you then. As always, stay safe and flood free. Your Andreas Klippe and the whole Flood Experts team.
That's it again with the new episode of Flood Protection Secrets, the podcast by Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe, German engineer, book author, and head of the Flood Experts. What can Dr. Flood Andreas Klippe protect for you? Anytime? Worldwide? Contact us or just click through to www.floodexperts.de/bonus. Detailed engineering, German quality, safe. Flood protection secrets. The secrets you'll want to unfold.
Don't forget, you're only one flood barrier away.
Subscribe to the season, and you'll never be late for an episode.